In the whirlwind of a relationship with a narcissist, have you ever found yourself lost between lies and the truth? They are like verbal magicians, manipulating reality, weaving perfect performances that leave you confused and doubting yourself. You become an unwilling detective, constantly investigating and hunting for clues to uncover the truth. They lie about everything, from trivial matters to serious issues, from their whereabouts and activities to extramarital affairs. You don't know what to trust, their sweet words or the gut feeling warning you that something isn't right. Sometimes you try to lull yourself with excuses, downplaying the harm you're enduring. It's not that bad. At least he doesn't hit me. But do you know that psychological abuse can be just as dangerous as physical violence? Sometimes you try to lull yourself with excuses, downplaying the harm you're enduring. It's not that bad. At least he doesn't hit me. But do you know that psychological abuse can be just as dangerous as physical violence? It erodes your soul, leaving you exhausted, stripped of confidence, and reduced to a shadow of yourself. And remember, on the journey to uncover the truth, you need to maintain a cool head and a clear heart. Don't let emotions cloud your judgment. And always remain objective and non-judgmental when observing and analyzing their behavior. Now, let's expose 7 signs that reveal a narcissist is lying to you. I know this isn't an exhaustive list, so feel free to share your experiences. How have they deceived you? How can you detect those subtle lies? Leave your comments below, and let's work together to unmask these manipulators and help others escape this toxic mire. Sign 1. Their emotional reactions can betray them. When you question them, pay close attention to their reactions, as this is when their mask might slip. They can be incredibly unpredictable, one moment exploding in anger, the next falling into suspicious silence. If caught off guard, they may counterattack with rage, harsh words or dramatic overreactions designed to distract you and make you feel guilty. For example, if you ask, "Why are you home so late?" they might immediately lash out, accusing you of distrust and a lack of empathy for their work. On the other hand, sometimes they perform silence, their eyes darting as if searching their mental database for the perfect excuse. They might concoct a highly convincing story, leaving you feeling guilty for doubting them. Ultimately, regardless of their reaction, their goal is the same: to manipulate and hide the truth. So stay sharp and carefully observe every detail to avoid being led by the nose in this psychological game. Sign 2. Providing excessive unnecessary details. Narcissists often throw up smokescreens with long, drawn-out stories filled with irrelevant details to hide their lies. They are like wordsmiths, transforming their narrative into a colorful drama that manipulates your emotions. To explain coming home late, they might spin a tale involving a car accident, a poor dog they rescued, or a young girl crying her heart out. The goal is to tug at your heartstrings and distract you from their wrongdoing. In reality, this is just a web of information carefully crafted to obscure the truth. When listening, remain alert. Don't let emotional details cloud your logic. Analyze thoroughly and assess the story's consistency and logic. More importantly, listen to your own instincts. When you spot inconsistencies in their narrative, don't confront them immediately. They'll quickly turn the tables, blaming you for their stress and inability to recall things accurately. Instead, step back, observe, and analyze everything objectively. Don't let yourself get swept into their performance. When you uncover the truth, you'll always hold the upper hand. Last and most importantly, it takes discipline. At best, Sign 3. Selective information sharing. In contrast to the above strategy, narcissists can also be masterful at leading you by the nose through carefully curated information. They never lay all their cards on the table. but skillfully revealed just enough to earn your trust while keeping suspicion at bay. Like talented storytellers, they draw you into a world they've constructed where the truth is distorted and hidden behind intricate matters. For instance, to hide an affair, he might craft a story about long business trips, critical projects, or late-night work sessions. He'll emphasize the hardships, sacrifices, and dedication to his job, making you feel touched and believe he's doing everything for the family. He'll cleverly weave in real details, leaving you convinced you have the full picture. When you show doubt, he'll immediately counter with persuasive statements like, "I'm doing all of this for you and the kids. I don't want you to worry." He might even shed crocodile tears, looking tired and pained, making you feel unreasonable for doubting him. Over time, you'll lose trust in your own intuition and become completely absorbed in the drama he's orchestrated. This tactic is incredibly dangerous because it not only deceives you, but also strips away your autonomy, leaving you dependent on the truth they create. They manipulate information, emotions, and ultimately your perception of reality. You will remain trapped in a maze of deceit while they effortlessly escape the net and continue their wrongdoing. Sign 4. Inconsistencies between their words and actions. Stop listening to their sweet talk and start focusing on their actions. Do their actions truly align with their words? Do they keep their promises? The inconsistency between what they say and what they do is a glaring weakness, a crack in the facade they create to hide their true nature. Even early in your relationship, during the so-called love-bombing phase, you might notice signs of deceit. Their stories often change with each retelling, and sometimes even they can't remember what they said previously. For instance, they might claim, "I was on the train that day," only to later surprise you with, "Oh, I remember now, I was actually somewhere else." They treat the truth as a joke, creating chaos in the details they share. Even if they promise change, whether it's doing more household chores or seeking therapy, you'll often find their behavior remains the same. This lack of consistency is a clear indicator of their true character and can help you stay grounded when dealing with them. Not only do their words reveal their deceit, but their actions also betray their slippery nature. Empty promises fade away, leaving you feeling insecure. This inconsistency, from the language they use to the execution of their actions, exposes the truth behind their polished exterior. Recognizing this pattern gives you the key to seeing their true self. It's time to set boundaries, acknowledge your self-worth, and protect your inner peace from their manipulative performances. Sign 5. Mismatched details in their stories. To unmask a narcissist's lies, become a sharp detective, paying attention to the smallest details in their stories. No matter how skilled they are at spinning tales, they'll struggle to keep track of all the fabricated details. Try asking the same question or revisiting the same event multiple times over a period. You'll notice inconsistencies in the details, such as dates, events, or locations. Getting fool's praise on the Temple Force Festival and the last person to sit on the throne. Getting full praise on the dental force of the papal. For example, you could casually bring up an old story in conversation. "I was thinking about what you mentioned last week about your business trip. You mentioned an old friend. Could you tell me more about that?" When you notice discrepancies, don't rush to call them out. Stay calm and gather more information. Narcissists are adept at shifting blame and damage responsibility. They might claim that you're making them anxious or asking too many questions, which makes them confused and unable to remember clearly. Instead, step back, observe, and collect information methodically. Avoid getting drawn into their excuses or arguments. Once you've pieced together the truth, you'll always come out ahead. Sign 6. Inconsistent body language and tone of voice. A disconnect between their sweet words and their body language, Stiff, emotionless gestures or a lack of genuine facial expressions often exposes their true intentions. This faked vibe isn't always obvious in their words, but can be seen in subtle cues if you observe long enough. Imagine a scenario where you decide to leave them, might immediately break down, crying and pleading, saying things like, "I realize how much I've hurt you. I promise I'll change. I'll go to therapy." It's a seemingly heart-wrenching scene, tears streaming, a trembling voice, desperate hands reaching out. But if you look deeper, something feels off. Their voice might sound too rehearsed, lacking the genuine strain of true emotion. Their tearful eyes might feel cold and empty, crooked smiles, hollow gazes, or overly rigid postures. All these little signs hint at the performance they're putting on. These mismatched signals are invaluable clues to uncover the lies hidden behind their polished exterior. Recognizing this disconnect ensures you don't fall prey to the sorrowful narratives they craft. Instead of letting your heart waver at their empty words, trust your instincts. Pay attention to their behavior and believe in the unease you feel. This is your compass, guiding you out of the web of deceit and helping you safeguard your inner peace while exposing the truth behind their calculated facade. Sign 7. Using passive voice to blur the truth. In the art of linguistic manipulation, passive voice is a potent weapon, often wielded by narcissists to obscure the truth and evade responsibility. When they don't want to admit their mistakes, they skillfully hide behind passive constructions, making it hard for the listener to pinpoint who is at fault. For example, instead of saying, "I broke the car," they'll say, "The car was broken." This seemingly minor difference creates a subtle distance, shifting the focus away from their actions and rendering the situation vague and difficult to address. According to psychologists, this is a common strategy in manipulative relationships, used to distract, confuse, and disorient their partner. While you're still struggling to figure out what happened, they've already slipped away from taking any accountability. No matter how skillfully a narcissist chooses their words or embellishes their stories, the truth remains hidden in subtle cues they can't fully conceal. Once you identify the key, the small but pivotal detail, you'll no longer be drawn into their artful word games. Instead of being enchanted by seemingly sincere words, you'll start paying closer attention to pauses, irregularities in tone, or shifts in their facial expressions whenever that key is mentioned. This clarity allows you to recognize the inconsistencies between their words and actions, between grandiose declarations and unfulfilled promises. Understanding this crucial point not only helps you expose the falsehoods behind their polished facade, but also empowers you to take control of the relationship. You'll learn when to stop trusting, when to hold your boundaries, and how to protect yourself from further harm. Moreover, this deep ability to detect deception serves as a key to safeguarding yourself from intricate traps, helping you gradually gain confidence, composure, and autonomy in your life. Ultimately, when you hold that key in your hand, you'll not only break free from the manipulative web of the narcissist, but also grow stronger and more resilient in all future relationships. By reclaiming your inner peace and self-assurance, you'll emerge from the experience more grounded, wiser, and ready to embrace healthier connections.